This trip took us back into the San Gabriel Mountains for a hike up to Bonita Peak. The hike begins at the end of the paved road along the east fork of the San Gabriel River. The first half mile of this hike is along a dirt road paralleling the river. Actually, our original goal was to travel upstream to the so-called Bridge to Nowhere. So we began the trek upstream, but found that most of the way there was really no trail at all. But we continued to work our way upstream for about half a mile. But then we decided this just didn't look like too much fun. And realizing we'd also have a number of stream crossings, we decided to try a different tack. So we worked our way back to a place called Heaton Flats. And at Heaton Flats was a trailhead to start up towards Bonita Peak. This trail started climbing up into the mountains, quite a change from our original idea of going upstream. And climb it did, at a pretty steady rate, on up into the hills. And of course it started to get us into some pretty good viewing areas. Then we could look across and see the Shoemaker Canyon Road on the side hill across the canyon, and also a part of the trail that we had been coming up along the side hill on this side. And then the trail reached a saddle where we found a broken sign pointing us towards Bonita Peak. And then the trail continued its almost relentless climb up into the mountains. Then we could look across and see Mount Baldy in the distance. No, that's not snow up there, just why they call it Baldy. And then we began to approach what is called Bonita Peak. Then we can look back and again see the trail working its way on up here. And here we can look across and see Iron Mountain, where this trail eventually ends up. Although that was quite a bit farther than we intended to go today. And here was our goal, Bonita Peak. Pretty good views from up here. Here's a pretty good view looking back down the East Fork. So we'll pan across and take a look at, see what it looks like. That Shoemaker Road is actually a road to nowhere, where we have been on a different hike. There apparently were a couple of attempts to work some roads up through these mountains that never materialized. But then, after a bite to eat and a little time to rest, we took a last look up the East Fork of the San Gabriel River and turned around and started back, resulting in a total hike distance of about 8 miles with about a 2,000-foot elevation gain.